Hello everyone and welcome to Use Your Spanish. Bienvenidos a Use Your Spanish, the place where you can learn the Spanish that you really need. In today's video, we are going to continue with our series of Español en Contexto. This is our episode number 14, and the topic for this video is Intentando adelgazar, trying to lose weight. This video is mainly oriented to beginners or students who are just starting to learn Spanish, and therefore I will be explaining everything in English. However, if you are an intermediate or advanced student, I advise you to stay until the end of this video because in today's episode you are going to learn a lot of Spanish. I guarantee you that you are going to learn a lot of expressions, a lot of vocabulary, a lot of common sayings that are very useful in the context of daily conversations in Spanish. You can also find these other videos on my YouTube channel in which I explain everything in Spanish. Before we go into the video, I would like to remind you how these videos are structured. In the first part of the video, you are going to listen to Miguel, a native Spanish speaker from Spain, who is going to tell us a story about his daily life. First, he is going to tell us this story at a very low speed so that you can hear very clearly all the words that he is using in his story. Also, you will be able to read on the screen the whole story. Then in the second part of this video, I am going to explain to you all those words that were in red color, which may be a little bit more difficult for you to understand, or maybe they are just common sayings or idioms that we use in Spanish. And finally, in the third part of this video, you are going to listen to Miguel's story one more time, but this time at a normal speed, so that you can test your comprehension skills now that you know most of the words in the story. Remember to subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below with all the questions you have about this episode or suggestions that you may have for upcoming videos. And that's it. So if you are ready, then let's get started.
No sé si estás de acuerdo conmigo, pero uno de los retos más difíciles que existen es bajar de peso. Engordar es facilísimo, pero adelgazar requiere de mucho esfuerzo, disciplina y constancia. Sin embargo, últimamente me he dado cuenta de que algunos de mis amigos que comen mucho más que yo se mantienen delgados y pareciera que no les cuesta mantenerse en forma. En cambio yo, con solo oler la comida, ya aumento 2 kilos y para mantener mi peso a raya tengo que sacrificar un montón de cosas que me gustan. Para ser honesto, creo que la genética de cada uno influye mucho en estas cosas y por eso yo no me fío de dietas y productos milagrosos que prometen ayudarte a perder peso en cuestión de días. A mi modo de ver, te dan gato por liebre, pues cada persona requiere de una dieta y una rutina distinta, ya que todos tenemos un metabolismo diferente. Además, creo que es importante reconocer que nuestro cuerpo va cambiando. Antes, yo podía comer muchas cosas y apenas ganaba peso, pero ahora tengo que controlarme y comer menos. Personalmente, he notado que si quiero adelgazar, hay algunos alimentos que debo evitar, como por ejemplo el pan, los postres y todo tipo de productos azucarados y bebidas alcohólicas. También debería hacer más deporte o al menos salir a dar un paseo diariamente, pues he caído en la cuenta de que llevo un estilo de vida muy sedentario, especialmente este año por culpa de la pandemia. En fin, el punto es que no hay que dormirse en los laureles, sino que hay que controlar nuestro peso mirando diariamente la balanza, pero también prestando atención a la manera en que nuestro cuerpo reacciona con lo que comemos y con nuestras rutinas de ejercicios.
Okay, so I hope that you were able to follow the story. I hope that you were able to understand most of the story. If you didn't, don't worry, because now I am going to explain to you all those words and expressions that you saw in red color. So let's go for it. Okay, first, some vocabulary. Do you know what we call in Spanish a person who is thin or a person who is skinny? Well, we call them flaco, flaco, or we call them delgado, delgado. For example, yo soy delgado, yo soy flaco. I am thin, I am skinny, okay? On the other hand, do you know what we call a person who is fat or obese? Well, in Spanish, we call them gordo, gordo. Or sometimes, when someone is very fat, we call them obeso, obeso. Of course, this word is related to obesity, which in Spanish is obesidad, obesidad. So, in Spanish, if you want to lose weight, we use the verb adelgazar, adelgazar, which in English is to lose weight, to lose weight. Of course, in Spanish, we can also say bajar de peso, or perder peso, perder peso, which would be the literal translation of to lose weight. So let me give you some examples. Me gustaría adelgazar antes del verano. Me gustaría adelgazar antes del verano. I would like to lose weight before the summer. Another example. Ella perdió mucho peso a causa de su enfermedad. Ella perdió mucho peso a causa de su enfermedad. Remember, we saw the expression a causa de o por culpa de in a previous video. This expression means because of. Okay, so she lost a lot of weight because of her illness. Okay, so what about the opposite? Not when you lose weight, but when you gain weight. Okay, in Spanish, we use the verb engordar, engordar. We can also use the expressions subir de peso, or ganar peso, ganar peso. Okay, let me give you some examples. He engordado mucho durante la cuarentena. He engordado mucho durante la cuarentena. We can also say, he subido de peso durante la cuarentena, o he ganado mucho peso durante la cuarentena. So this means I have gained a lot of weight during the quarantine. I don't know about you guys, but I have heard a lot of people saying that they gained a lot of weight, que ellos ganaron mucho peso, o que ellos engordaron, because they were eating a lot during the quarantine, but they were not able to exercise. Okay, let me give you another example. Él subió de peso después del divorcio. Él subió de peso después del divorcio. We can also say, él engordó después del divorcio. O él ganó mucho peso después del divorcio. which means he gained weight after he got divorced. When we talk about someone being fat or someone being skinny or thin, we are talking about people's appearance. So I've made another video in which I explain some of the vocabulary that you can use to talk about these things. So if you want, after this video, you can go and check this other video out. Okay? So let's continue. The word reto. The word reto means challenge. In Spanish, we can also use the word desafío. Reto and desafío mean challenge. Let me give you some examples. Ahorrar dinero es un gran reto para mí. Ahorrar dinero es un gran reto para mí. Saving money is a big challenge for me. Another example. Aprender español fue un reto muy grande para él. Aprender español fue un reto muy grande para él. Learning Spanish was a big challenge for him. Let's continue. The expression mantenerse en forma. Mantenerse en forma. So we use this expression when we want to say that someone stays in shape, in good shape, or someone keeps fit. Let me give you some examples. Salgo a correr diariamente para mantenerme en forma. Salgo a correr diariamente para mantenerme en forma. Some people would also add the word buena, just like in English when you say to stay in good shape. So you would say, salgo a correr diariamente para mantenerme en buena forma. But usually, just saying mantenerse en forma is enough. This sentence in English would be, every day I go running to stay in shape or to stay in good shape. Another example, ella se mantiene en forma comiendo saludable. Ella se mantiene en forma comiendo saludable. She stays in good shape by eating healthy food or by eating healthy. Let's continue. The expression mantener a raya. Mantener a raya. I don't know if you guys have heard this expression, but it's very useful and very common in Spanish. The meaning of this expression is to keep something or someone in line or at bay, or when you want to keep something or someone under control. Okay? Let me give you some examples so that you can understand better how we use this expression. Tus hijos se comportan muy mal y parece que no sabes cómo mantenerlos a raya. Tus hijos se comportan muy mal y parece que no sabes cómo mantenerlos a raya. Your children behave very bad, and it seems that you don't know how to keep them under control or at bay. Another example. El gobierno trató de mantener a raya los contagios a través del confinamiento. El gobierno trató de mantener a raya los contagios a través del confinamiento. The government tried to keep the infection under control or at bay through the lockdown. Let's continue. The expression fiarse de. Fiarse de. We use this expression to say that we trust something or someone. We can also use the expression confiar en. Confiar en. So fiarse de and confiar en tend to be the same thing. Let me give you some examples. Hoy en día uno no puede fiarse de nadie. Hoy en día uno no puede fiarse de nadie. Nowadays one cannot trust anybody. Another example. A él lo estafaron por fiarse de un desconocido. A él lo estafaron por fiarse de un desconocido. He was scammed or deceived for trusting a stranger. Let me give you another example. No deberías fiarte de todo lo que lees en Internet. No deberías fiarte de todo lo que lees en Internet. You shouldn't trust or believe everything you read on the Internet. Now let's continue. The expression estar a dieta. Estar a dieta. The meaning of this expression is to be on a diet. Okay? But in Spanish we have several ways of saying the same thing. We can also say hacer dieta or ponerse a dieta, which would be like to go on a diet. We can also say estar a régimen or ponerse a régimen. which also would be like to go on a diet. So let me give you some examples. ¿Te ves más delgada? ¿Estás a dieta? ¿Te ves más delgada? ¿Estás a dieta? You look thinner. Are you on a diet? Another example. En enero todo el mundo hace dieta. En enero todo el mundo hace dieta. In January, everybody goes on a diet. Another example. Estoy muy gordo. Tengo que ponerme a régimen. Estoy muy gordo. Tengo que ponerme a régimen. I am so fat. I need to go on a diet. When you go on a diet, you want to control your weight. And how do you control your weight? Going on a scale. So how do you say scale in Spanish? We call it balanza, balanza, or báscula, báscula. Okay? Before we continue with the rest of the video, I would like to remind you very quickly to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Remember that I upload a new video every week, and I have different series of videos oriented to different levels of students. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell so that you receive a notification every single time I upload a new video. Also, you can follow me on my social networks on Facebook and Instagram, and visit my website www.useyourspanish.com. There you will find my content organized by categories, as well as additional materials that you may find very useful to keep improving your Spanish. And that's it, so let's continue. The expression a mi modo de ver, a mi modo de ver. This expression means in my opinion, or the way I see it. In Spanish, you can also say en mi opinión, or desde mi punto de vista, desde mi punto de vista. Okay? Let me give you some examples. A mi modo de ver, los futbolistas deberían ganar menos. A mi modo de ver, los futbolistas deberían ganar menos. In my opinion, football players should earn less. You can also say, en mi opinión, los futbolistas deberían ganar menos. Or, desde mi punto de vista, los futbolistas deberían ganar menos. Another example. A mi modo de ver, los políticos mienten todo el tiempo. A mi modo de ver, los políticos mienten todo el tiempo. In my opinion, or the way I see it, politicians lie all the time. Let's continue. Now we have an idiom that Miguel used in his story, and we use it all the time in Spanish, and it is dar gato por liebre. Dar gato por liebre, which literally means that someone gives you a cat instead of a hare, which is a type of rabbit, a big rabbit. So the meaning of this expression or this idiom is to deceive someone, especially in a commercial transaction, by selling them something different than what was requested. And usually it is of lower quality. Okay? So I tried to find some equivalent expressions in English, and as far as I know, there is not a real equivalent expression, but one of the closest ones is to pull the wool over someone's eyes. So I checked the use of this expression in English, and it seems that it is used in similar context than dar gato por liebre. Anyways, the general meaning of this expression is to defraud, to swindle, or to bait and switch, okay? To deceive someone. Anyways, I'm going to give you some examples. Maybe with the examples you can understand better how we use it. No volveré a comprar nada por internet. Esta es la segunda vez que me dan gato por liebre. No volveré a comprar nada por internet. Esta es la segunda vez que me dan gato por liebre. I won't buy anything on the internet again. This is the second time that they deceive me, or that they fool me, or that they pull the wool over my eyes. Another example. Te han dado gato por liebre. Este reloj no es original. Te han dado gato por liebre. Este reloj no es original. They have deceived you. They have fooled you. Or they have pulled the wool over your eyes. This watch is not original. So I hope that now with the examples, it is a little bit clearer. Let's continue. The expression dar un paseo. Dar un paseo. It means to go for a walk. In Spanish, we can also say salir a caminar. salir a caminar. Let me give you some examples. Todas las mañanas voy a dar un paseo al parque. Todas las mañanas voy a dar un paseo al parque. Every morning I go for a walk to the park. Another example. Ayer fuimos a dar un paseo por la playa. Ayer fuimos a dar un paseo por la playa. Yesterday we went for a walk to the beach. Okay? Next one. The expression caer en la cuenta. Caer en la cuenta. This expression means to realize, to dawn on. It means that you gradually become aware of something, or that something hits you, or something comes to you all of a sudden. Let me give you some examples. Me asusté cuando no encontré mi móvil, pero luego caí en la cuenta de que lo había dejado en el coche. Me asusté cuando no encontré mi móvil, pero luego caí en la cuenta de que lo había dejado en el coche. I got scared when I didn't find my mobile phone, but then I realized that I had left it in my car. Another example. Ella se enfadó conmigo y dejó de hablarme durante un tiempo. Luego cayó en la cuenta de que había cometido un error y vino a disculparse. One more time. Ella se enfadó conmigo y dejó de hablarme durante un tiempo. Luego cayó en la cuenta de que había cometido un error y vino a disculparse. She got mad at me and stopped talking to me for a while. Then she realized that she made a mistake and came to apologize. The next one is a common expression. It's also an idiom that we use very frequently, and I think I already explained this expression in a previous video, but anyways, since Miguel used it in his story today, I will explain it to you again. The expression is dormirse en los laureles. Dormirse en los laureles. It means to be so satisfied with what one has already done or achieved that one makes no further effort. The equivalent expression in English is very similar. It is to rest on one's laurels. The difference is that instead of resting, which in Spanish would be descansar, we use the verb to sleep, dormirse, okay? Let me give you some examples so that you can understand a little bit better how we use this expression. Me dormí en los laureles y no estudié para el examen. Me dormí en los laureles y no estudié para el examen. I rested on my laurels and I didn't study for the exam. Another example. Él era el mejor futbolista, pero se durmió en los laureles y dejó de entrenar. Ahora ya hay otros jugadores que son mucho mejores. Él era el mejor futbolista, pero se durmió en los laureles y dejó de entrenar. Ahora ya hay otros jugadores que son mucho mejores. He was the best football player, but he rested on his laurels and stopped training. Now there are other football players that are much better than him. And that's all for the second part of this video. I hope that you have been able to learn some new stuff here. Now in the third part of this video, you are going to listen to Miguel's story one more time, but this time you are going to listen to him at a normal speed so that you can test your comprehension skills now that you know most of the words, expressions, and common sayings in the story. So if you want, you can close your eyes and try to follow his story.
No sé si estás de acuerdo conmigo, pero uno de los retos más difíciles que existen es bajar de peso. Engordar es facilísimo, pero adelgazar requiere de mucho esfuerzo, disciplina y constancia. Sin embargo, últimamente me he dado cuenta de que algunos de mis amigos, que comen mucho más que yo, se mantienen delgados y pareciera que no les cuesta mantenerse en forma. En cambio yo, con solo oler la comida ya aumento 2 kilos y para mantener mi peso a raya tengo que sacrificar un montón de cosas que me gustan. Para ser honesto, creo que la genética de cada uno influye mucho en estas cosas y por eso yo no me fío de dietas y productos milagrosos que prometen ayudarte a perder peso en cuestión de días. A mi modo de ver, te dan gato por liebre, pues cada persona requiere de una dieta y una rutina distinta, ya que todos tenemos un metabolismo diferente. Además, creo que es importante reconocer que nuestro cuerpo va cambiando. Antes yo podía comer muchas cosas y apenas ganaba peso, pero ahora tengo que controlarme y comer menos. Personalmente he notado que si quiero adelgazar hay algunos alimentos que debo evitar, como por ejemplo el pan, los postres y todo tipo de productos azucarados y bebidas alcohólicas. También debería hacer más deporte o al menos salir a dar un paseo diariamente, pues he caído en la cuenta de que llevo un estilo de vida muy sedentario, especialmente este año por culpa de la pandemia. En fin, el punto es que no hay que dormirse en los laureles, sino que hay que controlar nuestro peso mirando diariamente la balanza, pero también prestando atención a la manera en que nuestro cuerpo reacciona con lo que comemos y con nuestras rutinas de ejercicios.
And that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like and to leave your comments below. I would really appreciate it because it helps my videos to get some more visibility for other people that may find them useful too. Also, please share it with your family, with your friends, on your social networks, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Remember that you can visit my website www.useyourspanish.com and follow me on my social networks on Facebook and Instagram. One more time, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Gracias y nos vemos en una próxima lección. Hasta pronto.